Alright everybody, welcome back to part 21 of Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, and in today's episode, as advertised, we're here in Pickham and we're gonna do some questing over at Dodgy Dave's, or rather we're gonna turn in some items. And as you might recall, we still need to make one more item here for him, which I said I was gonna do at the beginning of this video, at the end of the last one. So, for our final item, remember we're gonna trade in the Robe of Serenity, which we made out of a Cloak of Evasion, plus a pair of boxer shorts, and then we made the Ring of Immunity out of a gold ring and a poison needle from Baccarat. And for the third item, which we're gonna need to trade on in, we're gonna need to mix a Urn of Saint's Ashes and a Partisan, which we got from the Argonia weapon shop. And yeah, the Saint's Ashes we got from beating rank C over in the Monster Arena. And this will craft, in turn, the Sandstorm Spear, which is the third item he needs once again. And in the last episode, I said I would mix with, I said I would mix my strength ring here that we made out of a prayer ring plus a strength seed. We made a strength ring, and I said I was gonna mix that with a Titan belt in order to make another mighty armlet. Because remember, we're gonna be crafting away this mighty armlet and this one soon in order to make a very nice armor for Yangus. However, it turns out I'm gonna go back on that. I'm gonna save my strength ring to make a power shield for Angelo. And yeah, I'm not gonna discuss that much more at this particular moment in time. Basically, why I'm gonna make a power shield is because I wanna try out a particular strategy once we get to Dolmagus inside of the Northwest Ruins. A strategy I haven't really tried against him before. So yeah. More on that later, viewers. It's gonna be interesting to show that off later. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna have one less mighty armlet this game. Typically, I like having two of those, but I'm only gonna have one. Although I guess I could make a second one later on in the game. But for now, anyways, I'm only gonna have one. Anyways, I'll cut back once the item has been finished. Alright, our spear is completed. Yeah, the Sandstorm Speed. The Sandstorm Spear is a real beauty, ain't she? This is actually, well, I believe it's the fourth best spear or lance in the entire game. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, look at that, 67 attack. Like, compare that to the Dreamblade, which only has 43. It is a really solid weapon if you go into the spear tree. Yeah. A spear that raises a sandstorm to blind enemies when used as an item during combat. So yeah, that is another really solid point of this item. Like, even if you don't use spears, you can use it in combat, much like the Dreamblade, to cast spells with it. And yeah, you will cast the Dazzle spell for free with this spear. However, yeah, sadly we're gonna need to trade it away. Typically I keep the Sandstorm Spear, but yeah, I wanna show off the Dodgy Dave side quest, so alas, I'm gonna have to trade it in. For our next item, we are gonna go ahead and mix the battle axe we bought in Argonia with our trusty old Thieves' Key. It is time to, retire. It's time to retire. What the heck? Oh, that sounds so mean. But yeah, indeed, we have the magic key, so we ain't ever gonna need the Thieves' Key anymore. But yeah, there you go. I'm gonna run around in circles until we have the Bandit's Axe, which this is gonna produce, which is a really nice axe for Yangus. Alright, here we go, and there we have it, the Bandit's Axe. One of the best axes in the game, or one of the better one, not one of the best axes, but yeah, like the fifth or sixth best axe in the game. Probably the fifth best, but yeah, really solid axe. And next up, those are the only two items I was gonna make, but I decided that we're actually gonna make a cured cheese too. And in order to make a cured cheese, you're gonna need to sacrifice one of your Yggdrasil leaves and mix it with a waterweed mold and a red mold. And when you mix these together, you get a premium type of mold, which, yeah, we're gonna need to use that in order to make some cured cheese. And I said before I wasn't gonna craft much cheese in the game, but yeah, here you go. Now I'm at it. But yeah, the cured cheese, basically is a key component to make the power shield. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and make or craft the cured cheese right now, just so that it's ready for later, so we don't have to go through it a video or two later. Because basically we're gonna have to make like 6 or 7 items in a few 6 or 7 items in a upcoming episode here, and you know, having to make the premium mold and the cured cheese then is just gonna drag that alchemy segment out even longer. So I would like to just have it done now. So please humor me, guys. Please do. And you know what? Why don't we just do this? Actually, now that I think about it, we can just make those items while we run along, no? Or should I? No, we should probably show it off now. Yeah, we should show it off now. Okay, so before we run on anyways, here. Let's give this X to Yangus. And did you see how big of a power spike that was in comparison to unarmed? And yeah, let's see here. The Iron X is at 136 and this is at 153, so yeah. I mean, okay, you know what? Come on. And you know what? I'm just gonna start cutting out again. I'll see you whenever the premium mold is done. And here we are. For mixing the dressing lever with the 2 pieces of mold, we now get the premium mold. Yeah. Which is really nice. That didn't take too long, actually. Now we're gonna mix the premium mold with a bottle of Amor Seco essence and a bottle of milk. Hopefully I remember that right, otherwise I'm gonna have to go grab my notes. Yeah, I actually don't have them here, which is... Oh, nice, I think I got it. Which is a little bit unprofessional, but yeah, the Amor Seco essence you can just buy here in Pickcam, but I already had one from before, but otherwise you can buy one in the item shop over there at Mr. Hinduman's place. Yeah, but... yeah, I think that we can just move on now, right? We have the cured cheese on, well, it's working on, or it's being worked on, so yeah. Let's just go inside of Dodgy Dave's right now and trade in the 3 items here, and I'll show you some really cool items you'll get. Let's see here. Huh? You wanna go around back? Got some busness to do, eh? Some busness. Yeah, indeed. And this guy looks French. Yeah, that's what I love about Dragon Quest VIII. Like, we have people of all walks of life here. Like, we have Indian people, we have French, we have Russians, we have Italians. Yeah, you know, all kinds of different people. And British. Yeah, it's really... Yeah, I like that about the game, you know? Ah, so you brought me a Ring of Immunity, eh? Let's make a deal then. My Bandit X for your Ring of Immunity. But you might say, but Nick, you just crafted your Bandit X. What are you gonna do with this one? Are you gonna sell it? No, I'm not gonna sell it. Actually, before we move on here, just gonna finish this. Yeah, we're gonna need the second Bandit X there in order to make a Bandit Mail for Yangus, and then the Bandit Mail in turn will be crafted into one of the best armors in the entire game for him. So yeah, that's why we need the second Bandit X here. Anyways, for the Robo Serenity, we will get 6,000 gold, which we're gonna need. I actually did some math. I'm gonna need 38,800 gold to be exact, in order to get all the items that I need from the upcoming bazaar at Argonia. So, yeah, this 6,000 gold is gonna be, well, very welcome to have. Let's just put it like that. And currently, it's not looking like I will have enough gold, so I might need to do some gold grinding on the gold golems over on Neos. And yeah, here we go. He's gonna give us a happy hat for the Sandstorm Spear, which is a broken piece of gear if you ask me. And okay, here now he wants a Crimson Robe. The Crimson Robe we can't make until we get to a future town, pretty much a great deal later on in the game, but the Crimson Robe, you will trade it in for a boss's shield for Yangus, but yeah, I don't really like that shield, but I'm still gonna do it. Typically I just like to equip the Crimson Robe on Jessica, but for the playthrough sake, I'm gonna have to trade it in. But yeah, we'll get a better robe from Monster Arena rank S anyways than the Crimson Robe, so it's all fine. But, here, yeah, let's have a look at the Happy Hat. A magical hat that gradually restores MP as the wearer walks around, and only Jessica and Angelo can equip it, but let's have a look here. She's at 84 mana. And let's take a few steps, and you'll see what I mean with it's broken. Okay, so I'm outside here now, and I have used a holy bottle, and I also cast pad food so we won't get encounters. But yeah, let's have a look at Jessica's mana. It's at 84, and now, when we move around, Yeah, she gained 3 mana from those few steps. And yeah, I mean, it's just gonna trivialize the game if I use this hat. So I'm not gonna use it. I don't like this hat, or I mean, I love it, but I don't like it because of how it... Yeah, it just, once again, trivializes the game, and I don't think that you viewers would like to see me use it. Like, it is an excellent hat, and if you're doing a, playthrough of your own where you just want to feel overpowered, go ahead and use it. But for the sake of the Let's Play's integrity, I'm not gonna be using it, because it's one of the most overpowered items in the game, I'd say, personally. Especially here in the mid-game. It boosts your defense by quite a bit and regens mana, so yeah. And however, only Jessica and Angelo can use it, but as long as you just switch it between them, they will never run out of mana in dungeons. It's so stupid. It's quite silly. But here's what I am gonna do with it, however. Oh crap, you know what? We need to run around in circles more, because I'm gonna craft the Happy Hat into a piece of elevated shoes, which will... well, basically give you experience as you walk around, and yeah, I'm gonna use those, however, and I'm gonna equip them on Jessica because, she's my girl, and I want her to level up, and the elevated shoes, gaining experience while you walk around, yeah, sure, you could say that's overpowered too, but still, I'd say that the mana regen is far more, is far stronger, actually, and if I do indeed level up too quickly with the elevated shoes, then I'm just gonna sell them, I'm just gonna have to sell them then. That's what I was gonna do at first with the Happy Hat, to gain some additional gold, just so that we could have enough money at the bazaar, so yeah. But either way, I'll just run around here in circles until we get the cured cheese, so yeah, see you in a sec. And here we go. The cured cheese has been finished, and cured cheese is actually not a bad cheese, but it requires Yggdrasil leaves, and yeah, basically it heals the entire party for like 100 HP whenever you use it in combat, so yeah, that's quite silly, or quite shitty even, but it is nice, so I don't know why I'm saying it's shitty. Here's the thing though, with Yggdrasil leaves plus magic water in the alchemy pot, you can make Yggdrasil dew, which essentially does the same thing as a cured cheese, but it heals your whole party up to full. And, it only takes 1 step to craft that item, whereas this takes 2 steps and it's worse. So I don't know what they were thinking there. It should be the other way around. Yggdrasil dew potions should heal the entire party for 100, and then the cured cheese should heal fully. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, the fishnet stocking here, which... I believe we got these from Princess Minnie's Mini Medal Castle. Hopefully I'm not misremembering that. It's either from there or from the arena. Actually, we got the bunny suit from the arena and the fishnet stockings from the Mini Medal Castle. So, yeah. We're gonna mix these two together. And we'll get the elevated shoes. So, yeah. I'll just run around in circles until they are done. Alright. So, finally, the item is done. And we get the elevated... or the elevating shoes, apparently it's called. Okay, so, now, this accessory, we'll have to see how strong it is. I'm actually not too acquainted with the elevating shoes here, so, yeah, if they are absurdly overpowered, I'm gonna switch them off. But for the time being, I want to have them on my queen here. And, since she mainly uses spells anyways, I'm just gonna give these to Jessica. And down the line, the thing is, as you might have noticed, or as I'm sure you have noticed, I should have noticed anyways, her whips ain't as good as they used to be, or the whip tree, but that's gonna be rectified in the soon future. We're gonna be able to make a really nice whip for her, and at that point, she's gonna be our whipping queen again. Okay, stop using that word. Silly you. But yeah, the elevating shoes gives +5 agility, and you give experience, or you gain experience as you're walking around outside, either in the wild or in dungeons. Not in towns, I'm pretty damn sure. That would just be silly, once again. But, now that we have finished everything here, it is time we head on back to Argonia. And we need to get inside the castle before it turns dark, because, yeah, as you might recall, we need to make inquiries. Inquiries? What's the right word? We need to inquire about the sun's mirror there, or the... yeah, some kind of a mirror that will allow us to penetrate the darkness over at the... oh, shucks. Damn it. Well, I'm gonna have to rest up. So, yeah, we're gonna need to ask the king, King Clavius there, about if we can get the, or borrow slash get the Sun's mirror there, or the magic mirror as they call it, in order to once again penetrate the darkness. So that's our next objective here. And there you go, I rested up, and yeah, let's head on over to the castle. And I noticed now whilst resting up at the inn, I have about 20,000 gold in total, 11k in the bank, and 8.9 thousand on me. So we're gonna need 18,000 more. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna make it happen somehow. The royal family of Argonia are very approachable, but that doesn't mean they'll just grant every favor they're asked. But if they were in your debt somehow, then I'm sure they'd try to grant even the most demanding of wishes. I'm glad I heard that from you. And you know what? Here. I'm actually gonna put in yet another item here. I just remembered. Remember how we have found some magic beast tides? It is time we put 2 of these together into the alchemy pot. That will in turn then make a fur poncho, and we can sell that too for some extra cash, I now realize. So yeah, we gotta step on this. Step on this crap. There you go. Now, let's head for the castle. And let's talk to some people here too. When we have the bazaar, people come here from all over the world to sell their things. The town square gets jam-packed. Okay, that's nice. And what do you have to say, minstrel? There was a real hullabaloo at the castle because Prince Charmless had gone missing. Sounds like they found him now, though. He was probably hoping to get away while everyone was in such a fluster looking for him. But the Chancellor was quick off the mark for once, and had the exit sealed off so he couldn't escape. Yeah, this here is actually a funny little thing about this town here. There's basically gonna be a ritual for every prince in the town of Argonia, where they're gonna have to go into the Argonian hunting grounds and hunt beasts or lizards. And yeah, the prince here is not too keen on that. He's actually got a lizard phobia. So yeah, more on that in a bit here. I haven't been able to get inside the castle up to now because Prince Charmless was causing such a stir. But I finally got in just now and managed to get hold of my permit for setting up shop during the bazaar. It's nice how they foreshadow that there too. But if you had tried to come up here earlier, even during the day, these 2 would just block you off. They wouldn't let you inside because they would not want to risk having Prince Charmless running out. Now, for this episode, we're gonna need to loot some really good items here. I believe we actually can find another strength seed in this castle, like up actually in the room where Charmless is hiding. Now that I think about it, there's gonna be a strength seed, which I'm definitely gonna make another, well, mighty armlet out of, or another strengthening, you know. I only just heard this, but apparently there is some kind of agreement between Trodain and Argonia. They say if a boy, and a girl are born in each kingdom, they have to marry. The agreement was made a long time ago, so Prince Charmless and Princess Medea are fulfilling a vow to their grandparents. A vow their grandparents made, yeah. I wonder what it's like to be engaged from the minute you're born. Do you think they are happy about it? Well, I don't know. Depends how shitty is the other person and all of that, you know. You might get lucky, you might get hella unlucky. I'm supposed to be a maid, but until the other day all I was doing was looking for Prince Charmless. I thought it was a bit of a waste of time looking for him when he was probably long gone. But he was actually inside the castle all along. And here we have a cutie. A magic mirror? No, I've never heard of anything like that. If you want to know about magic, you should ask one of the royal magicians. They will probably know what it is you're talking about. Now in here, instead of the castle training grounds, if you will, there's gonna be a mini medal, much like in the Ascantha castle. It was the same thing there. Yeah, we had a mini medal in one of these soldier wings, or whatever you want to call it. Dude, have I missed it? Oh, wait. Here? Oh, that's a piece of rock salt. That's not right. Let's see, I'm gonna talk to the cook there in a bit. Dude, I missed it. Okay, let's just talk to the cook. I know I just walked past him in the middle. Can you believe that they finally found Prince Charmless hidden in a barrel of all things? Wow, he must be braver than we thought to endure so many days. He was stuck there for days, apparently, in a tiny space like that. Yeah, and especially if you have seen Prince Charmless, he isn't exactly fit. So, yeah. Well, here, it's gotta be over here then. Dude! Okay, where the heck is it? Is it here? It's gotta be in here. Oh yeah, here it is, finally. Dude, that was so silly of me. Well, at least we found it. It's in here. Yeah. You there, why didn't you tell me about it? There were a lot of messengers coming from Trudane before the royal engagement was announced, but lately there haven't been any at all. I don't know why they have stopped coming, but I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, Castle Trudane has gone under. What with Trudane being so far away across the ocean, it's not easy to make contact with them. Huh, yeah, that's a good point. In the Middle Ages and everything. In the medieval times. And yeah, I believe that's it for all the loot down here. I should check my notes. I should go and grab them, actually. Yeah, so I'll just come back here in a sec. Okay, so yeah, I was right. So up we go. And I happen to know that here on the second floor of the castle, yeah, as you can see there, up in the northwestern part of the map, there is a really weird stair there. Huh, I wonder how we get there. Most peculiar. But yeah, here on the second floor, we have the throne room, and we have two stairs, one leading to the left wing of the castle, and the right one leading to the right wing, obviously. So yeah, before we go to the throne room, let's have a look at Prince Charmless. A strapping young lad, for sure. Not too bad looking, if I do say so myself. And here we have the king. And yeah, they should put up some kind of light source here. I can't barely make him out. King Clavius' throne room is just inside. Make sure you're on your best behavior and you don't do anything to disturb His Highness. I won't. Very nice throne room here, I will say. Let's see, what does this guy have to say? Well, we got stopped.
Your Majesty, are you feeling poorly? Did those travelers cause you some trouble?
No, I'm fine. One of them reminded me of someone, but I must be mistaken.
Okay, well, I want to talk to this guy. How can we promise the prince he will be safe during the initiation without sending soldiers along to protect him? It's no good. I just can't see how it's possible. Yeah. He's smiling while saying that. Huh. No doubt he does not have the prince's best interest in mind.
The magic mirror? But it's a precious royal heirloom. Why on earth do you require it? Explain yourself. I understand. However, as I have said, the magic mirror is a treasure of the royal family. I cannot simply give it to you.
I knew he'd say no.
C'est la vie, I suppose. It was a lot to ask.
So now what? How are we going to avenge my brother's death without that mirror?
If what you say is true, you must have survived a great many ordeals on your travels. That means your fighting skills must be on a par with those of my soldiers.
But Your Majesty, you can't possibly plan to use those travelers instead of royal guardsmen.
Well surmised, Chancellor. Listen to me carefully. I rule with a fair hand, but I cannot grant every request that is made of me. However, if the royal family owes someone a debt of gratitude, I consider it my duty to fulfill it. You need the magic mirror. Then accept my request. If you complete the task I set forth for you, you may have the mirror. Summon the prince!
At once, Your Majesty.
The request concerns my son, Prince Charmless. To become king of Argonia, one must undertake a special initiation ceremony. There is some risk to life and limb, and the prince is unwilling to do it. As a father, the thought of putting my own son in danger pains me. It is the tradition of our kingdom. I was considering sending a detail of royal soldiers to protect him during the rite. However, I fear it will ruin his reputation. So my request is this. You outsiders will accompany my son to the royal hunting ground. Naturally, this would remain completely confidential. It is vital that everyone believes my son passed the initiation on his own.
Your Majesty, Prince Charmless is...
What is it this time?
The prince has run off again. I'm extremely sorry, Your Majesty. This is all my fault. I'll bring Prince Charmless to Your Majesty as soon as we can find him. As your humble and faithful servant, I beg...
You incompetent fool! Please pardon my outburst, but we cannot continue this discussion without my son.
Yeah, so here is now a little mini-game, if you will. Well, it's not so much a mini-game, but now you gotta go ahead and find Charmless. But before we do so, I'm gonna loot some items. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and walk up the right wing here, because it's the closest to the second floor and all. Or to the third floor, I mean. I just saw one of the other politicians run by, looking very pale. I wonder what was wrong with him. Ah, Prince Charmless has run off again. I can't count the number of times he's done this now. You know what, let's have a chat with our party. Well, I didn't see that coming, Gav. Still, if we want that magic mirror, I suppose we gotta do what we gotta do. I had been hoping that the Prince of Argonia would be a real Prince Charming. You know, strong but sensitive, gorgeous but modest, riding on about the only white horse. But him? Him? Don't get me started. Hehe, there goes that little fantasy. And his name, even his name annoys me. How do you pronounce it again? Charmless. He seems to prefer Charmless, like he's some kind of foreign aristocrat. But he's a lot closer to Charmless, if you ask me. Haha, steady on. I hardly think it's his name that's to blame. Yeah, it's more like how he acts, if anything. Sometimes I'm so pleased I left Abby. I mean, look at me now, babysitting a prince who can't even wipe his own backside. Life doesn't get much better than this. Yeah. Heck yeah. I've actually never read that dialogue there. It was rather amusing. And okay, now we're on the third floor here. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have some items here in some of these rooms. So I'm just gonna go ahead and enter this room here. Let's see, what do we have? I actually don't remember in here very well because the castle is quite expansive, so it's hard to remember at the top of your head where everything is. I just seem to recall a strength seed, I believe, on the fourth floor of the left wing, for example, and on the fourth floor of the right wing I remember an elfin elixir too. So yeah, certain items I remember, but yeah, far from everything. Let's see here. Okay, so we got everything here on the east side. And we have some books there to read. You know what? Let's go ahead and read a few books here. We haven't done so in a while. It's a magazine called Big Boy Wonderland. Think you're a big boy? There's a secret club out there, and it may just be what you're looking for. We can't reveal the exact location here, but believe us, it's well worth the trip. If you happen to find it, make sure to ask for Puffy, she's dynamite, with a short fuse. Wow. Okay, just lie back and let her work her magic. Wink, wink. Believe us, you've never felt a pair like hers before. Oh yes, snuggling between them is like paradise on earth. You won't want to leave. Yeah. There is actually a place that exists, and I'll show it off later, much later on in the game. Where Puffy lives. Yeah, it's quite amusing. Let's see here now. This room here we can't enter just now. It's actually the royal treasury, but we're gonna find some items in there later. So I'm just gonna move on up ahead here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can move on up. And now we're on the 5th floor, and yeah, I was wrong. It's on the 5th floor where we have the Elfin Elixir. Yeah, there you go. Which is a really nice find, I might add. There you go. And yeah, I would strongly suggest you save this for the Dolmagus fight. Especially like for me, because as I said before, I'm not gonna use any healing recovery rooms, you know, before major bosses or any bosses in this game. And I'm not gonna be using my monster team either, so I gotta make sure I have mana recovery items on me. And with that, I believe we're completely done here now, looting the right wing. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna run all the way back down here to the 3rd floor. And let's just see. Yeah, now we're gonna head on out here outside the castle. Out on the castle walls. I don't really know what to call them. But yeah, here we are on the castle walls now. And here we have his soldier. Let's have a chat with him. The prince just appeared out of nowhere and then disappeared into the west wing of the castle. Oh, okay, so that's where he is. I tried to catch him, but he slipped by. He's so fast, it's maddening. He might even be quicker than a liquid metal slime. And yeah, no items there. And actually, there is no good reason for me coming out here, but I just want to show a little piece of dialogue that you get if you come here. Yeah, because I almost forgot to do so. Yeah, he's actually in here, the prince. Who was that? Well, you can just go away, no matter how much you beg and plead. I shall not leave this room, and don't even think about forcing your way in. If you do it, I'll bite my tongue. I wonder if your team says anything here. Okay, no, they're just repeating. Okay, well, let's have a chat with the guard then. I think the prince is in here, but the door is locked, so I can't get in. What is he up to? And yeah, this stair down here is that weird stair we saw down there on the 2nd floor, like on the map, and basically it will lead you down to a treasure room, which you can only enter once you have the ultimate key, and there's gonna be some really nice items down there, but yeah, we'll go down there later, like once it's important to do so, later on in the game. And I'll just see you when I'm done in here. Okay, so, on we move, and let's see. Back in we go, and actually in order to get into Prince Charmless' room, you're gonna need to do so from above. Like, you're gonna have to approach him from above, I mean. So, what you need to do, you need to head on up to the 4th floor, and, well, I'll show you. It's easier to show rather than to tell. But basically we're gonna have another Munchies segment again. Your little mouse is gonna have to do some work here. And yeah. Okay, well, here there is nothing. Nothing out here, so we're gonna go back inside. I actually forgot. Yeah. I completely forgot that there was nothing there. My bad, you guys. Wasting our time here. So, yeah. Now we're gonna head on up here on the 5th floor. And this is how you get to Prince Charmless. So yeah, we're gonna have to go up here and walk on over to the left side, and from there we can approach him. So yeah, my first time doing this in my teenage years. I really struggled with this place, finding my way, and yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for it. Like, it honestly is a pretty confusing place. Now that I played the game like 7-8 times or so, like, it's not that bad anymore. But yeah. And up here, there's nothing up here, but once again, I just want to show it off. We have a guard standing up here, you can talk to him. It sounds like there's a bit of commotion going on downstairs. What's happened? Of course, it has to be the prince. I don't know why I bother asking, really. With all this nonsense, it will be hard to keep on serving him. I might just jump off the ramparts here. Whoa, this is quite a sight. Gorgeous. Well, you know, standing guard up here wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, I would actually feel kind of privileged if I had to stand up there just looking down. But, let's see. Moving on down here now. On towards the 4th floor. And yeah, I believe you get to Prince Charmless from inside there. So before we do, let's see. I just want to check so we don't miss any items down here. Yeah, we're still on the 3rd floor. We have some items to loot in here. That room down there in the southwest corner of this map is actually where he's inside of. So yeah, we can get another piece of dialogue if we approach another locked door here. But yeah, so I'll show you in a sec. Prince Charmless has gone and locked himself in one of the servants' rooms now. He certainly seems determined this time. If he really hates the idea of the initiation this much, maybe the king will just have to give him, or will have to give up on the idea. It will take a long time to get the prince out of that room again. I bet the only thing that would do it would be if there was a lizard in there to scare him off. Wink, wink. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Thank you for the tip. And I'm gonna have some items in here. I hope I haven't missed any mini-medals. We only found one this far, so I'm a little bit worried actually. I wonder if Prince Charmless is okay. Every now and then, lizards drop from the ceiling into the room he's in, you see. I doubt he'd like that very much. And here we have yet another guard. What am I going to do? The prince says he will bite his tongue if I try to open the door. Yeah, you'll probably be punished by death if you force your way in then. The door is locked. Knock on it. Yeah. Who is it? Okay, he's probably gonna say the same thing again. Yeah. Okay, so have it your way then, mister. And you know what, let's just check this door. Hopefully, yeah, maybe there's a mini medal in here. That would make me feel a lot better. Come on, be something good. Oh, nice, okay. Yeah, before I leave this, I'm gonna have to look through my notes and make sure I haven't missed any mini medals. Okay, yeah, so I actually checked on my notes here, and it seems like there are only 3 mini medals here in all that we can grab right now anyways. There's gonna be 2 more later on in the game, but yeah, we can't grab those as of yet. So, let's just head on in here and let's scare the prince out of the room. But first, we have some reading to do. It appears to be a diary of a female royal official. Of course, I never go anywhere without wearing my scholar specs. They are simply perfect for an uncommonly quick-witted girl like me. But, oh my head, oh, it's a disaster, so hideously uncultured. If only I had a hat reflective of my superior intelligence as well as my spectacles too. I suspected I could combine the scholar specs with a hat to make the perfect piece of headwear, but I simply couldn't bear to sacrifice them. What to do, what to do? I lie awake at night fretting about it, you know? It isn't easy being a beautiful genius. Well... Okay, so a clever chap cap, a hat plus scholar specs. This here is actually a really important piece of headgear that we're gonna need to craft in order to get some really nice headgear pieces for Angelo and Jessica, and this is how you learn how to do it. Basically, you're gonna need to buy a magical hat once the bazaar opens up in town and mix it with a pair of scholar specs, which you can also buy at the bazaar, and that in turn will give you a scholar's cap, which will boost wisdom by 10, so that's really nice for your spell damage on both Angelo and Jessica. And then you can also mix one of the scholar caps into a sage's robe for Angelo. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some really nice crafting up ahead here. And then the sage's robe in turn will be used to make the... Alright, so yeah, so then in turn the sage's robe will need to craft the crimson robe for Dodgy Dave in the future. So yeah, eventually we'll lose that really nice piece of gear, which is a shame. However, as I have said before, I'm just gonna quickly point this out. The Sage's Robe is a really nice piece of gear for Angelo, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna craft another zombie mail, and we're gonna curate 2 of these and craft a platinum mail both for Tur and Angelo. So yeah, they're gonna be really nicely protected, both defense-wise and magic-wise. The Sage's Robe actually protects you more from spells, like for Angelo, than the platinum mail, but the platinum mail has quite a bit more defense, physical defense, so yeah, I like that better. And in here, we get a Cloak of Evasion, which I'm actually going to make into another Robe of Serenity and sell off here. And yeah, I don't think our alchemy pot is done yet. But up here in the 4th floor of the West Wing is where you need to go in order to scare out the boy here, Prince Charmless. So, yeah, here we have our second Munchie segment of the game, and much like the first one over in Alexandria, is quite easy. All you need to do is walk Munchie down here, and now you're gonna have to play putt golf. So, yeah, we're gonna line ourselves up and try and scare him down that hole there. And actually, before we do... well, here, let's just go in this general direction. But yeah, before we scare him down there, let's try and look down. I almost forgot about this. We have a cutscene here, or a short one. Yeah, let's peek into it. I simply cannot fathom why my father won't just accept my decision and stop trying to force me to undergo that ridiculous initiation. It's absurd to expect me to go through the royal hunting ground all on my own and defeat a lizard. And yeah, those lizards aren't exactly small either, huh? Ugh, a lizard! The name alone is enough to give me the willies. Lizard! The world would be such a much better place. Yeah, that's a nice way of phrasing it. Without them, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I'd rather not have mosquitoes, but that's just me. Lizards are cute, in my opinion. And did we get it? Nice.
Hmm? Is there something on my head? Ah! Ick! Ick! A lizard! What's it doing here? Get it out! Get it out!
And there you go. That's how you get him out of the room there. And yeah, we only have a few more items to loot here now. For one, there's that Seed of Strength inside of Prince Charmless' room, so we mustn't forget to go actually down there and loot it before we go to the throne room. Although, even if you do forget about getting it now, you can just come back later and grab it, but, you know, still, I'm just saying. And yeah, there we had it again. The pot keeps reappearing by the hole once you're done with that segment there. Well, the same thing happened over in Alexandria there. Okay, so let me just check my notes again. Okay, so yeah, check my notes and we got everything. So it's time we head on down for a Seed of Strength, and yeah, then we're gonna head into the throne room. The prince was just taken off by one of the soldiers not 2 minutes ago. The poor thing, no doubt... the poor thing. No doubt King Clavius will be having a few strong words with his son. Yeah, I'm sure he will. I heard a terrible scream from the room below. It sounds like it must have been Prince Charmless. And you know what, I'm sure... But, dude, I'm trying to talk to my team here. Let's see here. Jessica has nothing to say, she's just blown away by this whole incident. Okay, they all are speechless, so, you know what? Yeah, know what? Let's just move on in here then, and let's see what these two have to say about the prince bursting out. When he ran out the room, it was quite the most hysterical panic. He really must hate lizards. Indeed. Poor Prince Charmless was seized by the soldiers the second he ran out of that room. And do you know what he said? That if only it wasn't for that lizard, he could have stood at least another 3 days in there. Holy heck, my man. Well, I mean, he did have a bed in here. So, yeah, I can see that. And, even a chimney. Not too bad, not too bad. And, yeah, in here, now that Prince Charmless is no longer here. Am I in the wrong room by chance? Is this the room he was in? Am I such a dummy? No, this is the room he was in. Okay, so, let's see. Instead of here, yeah, now we're in the right place, now I recognize it, so yeah. Oh my god, why didn't I just open up the map? But yeah, over here, on the 3rd floor in the southwest room, is where Prince Charmless was in, and here we have the strength seed. I remember that for a fact, that there was one here. Yeah. Not bad, so we're gonna make that into a strength ring in a bit, once the Moon's Mercy I've got cooking now is finished. But yeah, I'm gonna see you back on the 2nd floor in the throne room. I'm gonna check so that they haven't missed one particular mini-medal in the east wing on the 3rd floor. So yeah, I'll see you back in the throne room on the 2nd floor in a bit. Okay, I'm back here in the throne room, and indeed, we had not missed a single mini-medal, so everything is right with the world.
Ah, perfect timing. Allow me to introduce my son. This is Prince Charmless. the future king of Argonia.
What is all this, Father? Why are you wasting my time with this whiff-waff?
They're going to protect you during the initiation. They will need to know who you are.
Initiation? Who said anything about the initiation? I don't recall agreeing to that. I hate lizards. How many times do I have to tell you?
Listen carefully, Charmless. Enough is enough. I am aware of your aversion to the initiation, but it remains your duty to complete it. You won't be able to marry Princess Medea until you prove your worth.
Well, I don't care about getting married anyway.
You're making a mistake, Charmless. I hear Princess Medea is, well, boom! You understand what I'm saying?
Wow!
Wow!
Now, have you reconsidered?
You can leave me out of this, thank you.
Anyway, my son, do you realize what people say about you behind your back? This is your chance to prove yourself, to show the world you are a man. These people can assure your safety. Well, Charmless, do you accept?
Yes? Wait, no. I mean, oh, I don't know.
I heard a yes. That's my prince. I'll ensure that everyone believes you're doing it on your own. You will leave now. Hide yourself in the wagon at the city gates and await your bodyguards.
Right now?
Chancellor, accompany Charmless to the gate. The prince is leaving for his initiation. Summon the royal guards. The prince must have a fittingly ostentatious send-off. Remember, he is leaving on his own.
It shall be as you wish, Your Majesty.
But wait! I'm not ready yet!
Dude, I'm going to hell. I'm just laughing at the way he speaks.
Off at last. I wish you luck. And remember, your mission is top secret. Charmless will explain the details of the initiation himself. Fulfill my request, and you have my word that the magic mirror shall be yours.
Wascally Wizard. Yeah, I love his lisp he's got going there. But what you need to do now is basically you're gonna just head on out down to the gates of Argonia here. But before I do, I'm gonna want to go to the bank and put away some of my money, because if I die now in the initiation, I'm gonna be pissed. And yeah, I'm not gonna be loading states or anything like that, because yeah, that's cheating. If I die, I die, so yeah. And here, you know what? We have more boxer shorts. Let's just get to crafting another Robe of Serenity. They sell for good coin. Really good coin. Well, yeah, the Cloak of Ovation would sell for like 1500 maybe, something like that, but the Robe of Serenity is gonna go for 3300 or something, so yeah. Very nice money there. And how much gold do we have? 8,900, yeah, and 11,000 in the bank, and yeah, we're gonna need 18,000 more. So yeah, hopefully I can scrounge together the money. We do have a lot of items to sell, to be fair, and we can also visit Minnie's castle and gain some additional items to sell, I guess. Oh yeah, but this is gonna be tight. I might even have to sell my Dream Blade. Ooh, which I would not want to do. But... okay, well, you know what? Here's how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna go to the bank yet, because I think that even if I try and zoom out of here, the game is just gonna block me from doing so, because there's gonna be a cutscene once we leave here. But yeah, we're gonna leave, get Prince Charmless on our team, and Then we're gonna go ahead and zoom on over to Princess Minnie's and stow away our money, and then we'll teleport back here. And here they are to show their future king off. I can hardly believe that Prince Charmless went off all on his own like this. I'm so impressed. 3 cheers for Prince Charmless. 3 cheers for Argonia. Hip hip hooray! To quote Charmless. I was convinced we'd be sent along with the prince as bodyguards. Dude, that guy's got such a chin on him. Look at him. Wow, what a stud. What a stud. Well, let's have a chat with with the Chancellor here. Almost call him Charmless. The future of Argonia lies in your hands now. Please make sure you don't let us down. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be beheaded if we have something happen to the prince, I'm sure. So, yeah. We might as well join up with Dual Magus if that were to happen. Become wanted fugitives and all of that. But yeah, we have a cutscene here now, so shut up.
That stinky wagon is far too small for me. Maybe I could stretch my legs if you got rid of that worthless pot. Good grief! What's that? What kind of people are you, traveling with a freak like that?
Here, Grandad. You'd have bitten my head off if I said something like that. I'm a king, you half-witted twat. Come a little closer. Look at us. Don't you see? We can't tell him his fiancée has turned into a horse. Much better to keep the truth a secret for now. Make sure everyone knows to keep it under their hats. Prince Charmless! What is our destination?
It's Charmless, you clot. Just head east. Eventually we'll come to the royal hunting ground. That's where the initiations take place. Oh, and before I forget... This vial contains a powder that masks human scent. You must sprinkle it on yourselves before we enter the royal hunting ground. Argon lizards are very sensitive to smell. If they get wind of our unmasked scent, they'll run away. In other words, we've got to smell like lizards to fight lizards. I'm supposed to be doing this by myself, so I shall be staying in the wagon until we arrive. I'll alight upon arrival, and we shall then proceed on foot. Now get a move on, you lazy rascals!
You lazy wascals? Yeah, so, let's see, I'll just cut back. I'll go ahead and deposit my money. Or actually, no, I won't cut back because we're gonna need to show off which items we get from Princess Minnie. Alright, so here we are. I zoomed on to Princess Minnie, and... yeah. Well, hello. I'm Minnie, Princess of Minnie Mills. Yeah, we know. So, let's see here. You have brought up to 48 Minnie Mills here in total, so yeah, for our efforts we will now get a posh waistcoat, which I'm definitely gonna sell. And the Staff of Divine Wrath, you know what, that's a really nice item. Yeah, okay, so at 52 we get a gold nugget. The gold nugget is a very important item, which we're gonna use to craft a golden tiara for Jessica much later on in the game, so yeah. When you get the gold nugget, you can actually like sell it for 10,000 gold or something like that. But yeah, I strongly recommend you don't do that. But yeah, see, the posh waistcoat gives a lot of defense, but the magic vestment here, an enchanted garment that reduces damage from spells by 2/3, that's just too big to pass up, especially since Angelo is in the 4th slot and only has a 10% chance of getting hit by physical moves, you know, unless it's AoE-based physical damage. But yeah, a stylish, high-quality vest that raises its wearer's defense. So that's really nice, and since I need money, I'm probably just gonna sell the Staff of Divine Wrath. Typically, I like to give it to Angelo, just so that he has both a free wind spell and a free lightning spell. You know, so that he can use different types of staff for different types of monster, you know, whoever is weak to them. So, yeah, I might have to sell it. You know what, no, don't withdraw. I'm probably gonna give him the staff, and if I do need money, I will sell it, but otherwise I'll just keep holding on to it, so yeah, that's how I'm gonna handle it. But yeah, I'll see you back at Argonia. Okay, so we're back here now, in Argonia, and now we're gonna head on to the Royal Hunting Ground, which is due east of here. So, we're gonna go ahead and call on our trusty steed here, because it will save us some time. And yeah, then we're gonna loot up some items here. I said before, like, you remember when we first got here to our Argonia, I only looted the middle parts there. But yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and find some items over here on the east side, before we go to the Royal Hunting Grounds. There's gonna be a light shield we can pick up here. There's also gonna be a mini medal, I know, and we can probably go ahead and get the Seed of Wisdom now too, if we really wanted to. But I might be too lazy for that. Yeah, I might be too lazy for that. Like, we're gonna need to go over to where the Seed of Wisdom is, by the waterfall. I pointed it out in an episode or two ago. And we're gonna need to go there once we are ready to progress the game later on anyways, you know. Yeah, the Seed of Wisdom is up that way, towards the northern checkpoint. So, you know what, I'm just gonna skip it. It's just gonna drag out on video time going there. So, yeah, you know what? I made the executive decision here to skip it. And, oh yeah, I forgot, since I used the Padfoot and the Holy Bottle there before, yeah, that's why I'm not getting any encounters. And yeah, we should be gaining experience right now on Jessica. And let's see here. Experience 88,664, let's see. 88,664. Yeah, so she... she only gained 8 experience from that walk there. So yeah, you don't gain very much experience whilst walking around with those shoes. So yeah, in my opinion, nowhere near as overpowered as the Happy Hat. But yeah, at least now we can show them off. Once again, I don't have very much experience with the elevating shoes. I've only briefly tried them before. But yeah, in this playthrough, I'm actually now gonna give them a real shot here. But see, the thing is, with both the Happy Hat... Oh, nice. Let's see. Level up. 6 HP, 7 MP, 2 Strength. That's a shame. And yeah, we're just gonna put it all into stage. So we need to be at 31, so I'm gonna make that happen. But yeah, the thing is, as I was gonna say there, with the Happy Hat and the elevated shoes, the elevating shoes, is whenever you use them... Hold on, there's a chest somewhere here. Okay, I ran past it. It's apparently over here. Right over here. But yeah, as I was gonna say, the Happy Hat reaches mana whenever you're walking around, right? Which is very nice, don't get me wrong, but if you wanna sit around and grind experience, you know, as efficient as possible, you're gonna want to do that with the whistle skill. And, you know, when you use the whistle skill, you know, you stand still. You know, you sit here, whistle, call a monster, beat them, rinse, repeat, you know, so you won't regen mana, or experience for that matter, when you use the whistle skill to grind experience as efficient as possible. So, yeah, that is one thing that isn't so nice with those two items. So, there you go. But even with that said, the Happy Hat is really nice whilst moving through dungeons, so yeah, that's really what it's good for. There you go, beat those guys. And let's see, I want to take a quick look again at her. Maybe it seemed like she gained such little experience there last time we looked at her because she was about to level up or something. 89,000, okay, so 651. Let's just keep 651 in mind. And 651, dude, stop going to the miscellaneous. 651, no, she still only gained 11 experience. Although I guess that ain't so bad, but yeah, the elevating shoes aren't that great, if I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, we'll keep using them. It's more experience than none, I guess. And yeah, here, at this house here, we can actually rest up. And I believe, come on, go in. I believe there's also a mini medal inside of here, so we mustn't miss that. In one of these pots here. And yes, we're up on the 1 hour mark here now. We really gotta try and finish this off here now. There you go. Fancy you finding your way out here to the back of beyond? If you've been needing a rest, why don't you stop for 40 winks here? I wonder what that means, 40 winks. Well, I mean, obviously sleep, but 40 winks, what's that a reference to? Don't worry, love, I won't be asking for no money. Wink, wink. Yeah, we'll pay in natura, as it's called in Swedish. Yeah. We'll offer our bodies. Okay, you know what? PG-13. Focus. Look at you all glowing and healthy, young'un. Just what I like to see. Come back and okay, no, I can't stop cracking up here. Oh, yeah. Me and my dirty side. It's been the duty of our family for generations to make sure the Argon lizard in the royal hunting grounds don't go dying out. Oh, the royal family of Argonia would be in a terrible pickle if they didn't have no lizards. They wouldn't be able to do that initiation of theirs. It must be really dangerous living here by the initiation, though, huh? Because the dragons in there are actually running around with axes. Or not the dragons, the lizards are running around with axes. It would be like a wolf and the three pigs situation out here in this house. Yeah, just lizards hacking away at their house. Instead of blowing. Although I guess they can blow fire. And what kind of a conversation is this? You know, I'm just so silly. But yeah, as they said, if you use the spray here, you can now enter the Argonian training grounds there, or the hunting grounds. Actually, you get a little cutscene where Prince Charmless gets very mad at you if you don't sprinkle or put the sprinkle on and you try and move in. Then he'll be like, you wascally idiots, you forgot to spray the thing on you. Something like that. But yeah. Now we don't get to see that because I forgot to show it off, so that's my bad. Oh my goodness, this kid is hella strong. That was a salamango. Argon lizards absolutely adore them. People say sleeping lizards wake up on the first whiff of one. Let's have a look here. Where is her sister? His sister here. Dude, she has the same clothes as Link. That looks really cool, actually. My brother is really strong. I tried my best, but he's still good and get a salamango. Huh. You know, she looks really cool in that garb there. What the heck? She should just have a sword at her side, too. A sword and a shield on her back, and a little Link cap there. But yeah, let's just enter here, and I think we'll have a cutscene. Or maybe we won't. We might have to move in a little bit. Okay, yeah, so we have a... I was gonna say a unique monster, but that's not it. We have a lizard here at once, which you need to defeat. They're kind of like mini-bosses, if you will. And here's what I'm gonna do. I thought of this off-camera before. I would like to use my Hazel team here again. Nope, not like that. We're gonna put the Tricky Bag here. And then Hazel in the middle, just because it looks good. And then the Yule Bag here. And now we have the Psych Watch here again. Yeah, hopefully Trick Bag will cost Deca Sap. You know what? The here, do this. Place in reserves. You know what? I'll just do this off screen. What am I doing here? Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna try this out here on the mini bosses. I'm gonna do some real psyching up and hit them hella hard. So yeah, that's gonna be sick. Sick. So yeah, in the next time, we're gonna go through the Argonian hunting grounds here. It's actually a really simple dungeon, really straightforward, and you don't get no map in here. But even so, you know, once again, it's a really straightforward map, and I'm actually gonna be able to show off a really funny cutscene here, which I don't think too many have seen with this lizard here. But yeah, that's gonna be next week. Yeah, I'm gonna show you some funny shit off here in a bit. At least I think it's funny. But yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 22 next week of Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. Yeah, this is gonna be really fun. We're gonna need to get through this place here in one piece, and then, as I said before, we're gonna need to sit around here and grab some dragon scales. I've hinted at that before. We're gonna need to grind some, and yeah, we'll find one for free here. Like, we'll just loot one, and then we already have a dragon scale on us, so at that point we can craft a dragon tail whip for Jessica, and then I'm just gonna have to sit around here and grind for 2 additional dragon scales from the monsters, and yeah, I'll probably record it all and then cut in and out, you know, whenever I level up, so I get to show off all the stat gains and stuff like that. So yeah, but we'll do that after we have finished the dungeon, and that will be nice. We'll get some more gold from doing that too, but then again, beast enemies typically drop pitiful gold, so yeah, I probably won't get that much in here. Probably only 2,000-3,000 at most, depending on how long I will have to sit here and grind. But yeah, it shouldn't take that long, like maybe an hour of grinding or so. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time of Dragon Quest VIII, where we'll tackle the Royal Hunting Grounds. You wascally wabbits.